Welcome to Board Game TV. Today's Terror Tuesday, and we are playing Lobotomy by Titan Forged Games. Alright, so I have the board set. And first, let me do a couple words of introduction here. I have not played this game much. I only played it once, really. So, I might make a lot of mistakes. And that's for a couple reasons. Reason number one is this game has a lot of moving parts. There's just a lot to keep up with in this game. So, yeah, I may not be perfect on everything I do. Point number two is the instructions for this game just aren't the most clearest written instructions. So I house ruled a couple things, either because the rules didn't make no sense or they're just downright stupid. So I'll try to remember that explaining it's a house rule or something I came up with if it comes to that. However, that being said, I like this game. One, it's very difficult. I mean, this is one of the harder games that I have. I mean, it just is. And two, I like the theme of it. The theme that you have these people in this mental asylum fighting these monsters, but it's never really told one way or another whether or not they're just crazy and this is stuff in their head, or is this real? Are these real monsters here? Is this really happening? Is this evil beset our characters? So I like that. I don't like the monsters. I think the monsters are cool. The miniatures are okay. They're not the greatest quality, but I mean, come on, look at this guy, the warden here, man. Come on. I mean, look at this. This is the freaking Antichrist guy. I mean, tell me, that just don't look evil. Alright, so what's the goal? Well, you pick a scenario. Now normally you play with 5 people and you have 2 scenarios you complete. However, we're playing with 3 people, so we're going to get a little bit of a handicap, and we're only playing one scenario. Okay? And we're playing the siren song scenario. Now there are special rules for this scenario. It actually uses the Deep Madness expansion, but the scenario is in the base rule book. So I don't know. Good thing I have the Deep Madness expansion, which is going to add these deep ones. Now it said for me to add a number 1 small board, which I did, to the side and put 3 deep ones, 2 for each character. So it'd be 6. But it's never really clear as I can keep spawning these deep ones according to some of these movement cards, which are basically event cards. So it's never really clear whether I use this pool and then if I don't have any more, I don't spawn anymore, or I just keep spawning because I got a whole bunch of deep ones over here. So that's really never clear. And there is a way you can get sent to this board. So I think what I'm going to do is I think I am going to just keep spawning deep ones an infinite amount. That'll bring up a problem I'll probably address towards the end of the game when I do my final thoughts on this. So our scenario is we have to kill 2 sirens. Now, normally it'd be 4, but since we're 3 players, we get a handicap. So you randomly put the sirens on the board. And you do this, you have A, B, C, D. So you roll a 4-sider, figure out what area, and then you roll a 12-sider because there's numbers on each of these spaces, 12, 1 through 12. And I put 1 here, and 1 here, and there's 1 here on this board. And I randomly had to put patient monsters, which are these guys, and scavengers, which are these guys, on the board. And I randomly put the bodies, the doors, the lockers, the memory shrine tokens, these things on the board. And let me also say this. This is another, I think, detriment to this game. Is setup. This setup for this game takes a long time. I mean a long time. More than most games. If you're one of those people who don't like setting up games, then I'm sorry to say lobotomy is probably not going to be it for you. Because this game requires not just the board, but then you got to set up your characters, you got your cards as normal, you got all your monsters. This game just takes a lot of setup, okay? And a lot of it's random. And I randomly place these door tokens and stuff like that. So the goal of our scenario is to kill the 2 sirens. Easier said than done. Now we have sort of a timer track. This guy right here is the warden. Now at the end of, or at the beginning of every monster turn, we're going to grab a movement card. And the movement card is going to have a set instructions as to what to do for the monsters. One of the instructions can be that the warden moves 1 space. If the warden ever gets to 12, he moves from 1 to 12. If he ever gets to 12, and we have not completed our scenario, then we're going to have a final showdown with the warden. He's going to appear here. We're going to have a final showdown, and he's going to kill us, basically. It's very hard to beat him. It's like Arkham Horror, where if you don't complete the good stuff, you have to have a showdown with the Elder God at the end. We have to have a showdown with him. He's a massive beast. He just stomp a mud hole in you like nothing. So 99% chance he's going to win. So we want to try to complete our scenario before he ever gets to 12. Some things may make him move forward on the track. Some things may move him move backwards on the track. One of the ways he moves forward, and he can move 3 spaces, is if a character is ever killed. If a character is ever killed before the final fight, they respawn back here in the middle. Fully health, but if they have any insanity, they gain 2 insanity, or lose 2 insanity, however you want to look at it. And they can start from there. But the big penalty is he moves 3 spaces. So, you know, you get knocked out, man. That's gonna hurt. Okay, so what do we do? What do our characters do? Well, we have something called action points. Okay? Each character has a certain amount of action points they can do. And with those action points, you can move, you can search, you can fight, you can access a memory shrine, you can reveal what a door is going to be, locked, barricaded, or unlocked. You can search a locker, you can trade, you can use your skills. Okay? There's also a thing where you can run if you choose to. And what that is you gain 2 extra action points, but you have to use them to move. You can't use the action points to do anything else. Now, if you have a skill that doesn't cost action points, you can still use it. Okay. So that's what heroes can do. These white lines, of course, are spaces. I'll go over, I guess, opening doors and stuff like that when we get to it, because we'll get to it. Okay, so let's go look at our characters. Our first character is going to be, Philip Howard. He's obviously based on Howard Lovecraft. He has an imagination of 9. Now, let's start with that. You can do imagination test. Sometimes, what the imagination test is you roll 2 die. And if Philip Howard were to roll 9 or less, he passes his imagination test. Okay? There's his defense. Excuse me. Alright. So he has a defense of 0. So let's say he were in a fight with a monster, and a monster were to get 3 hits on him. Well, all 3 would cause him to lose health because he doesn't have any defense. Some characters have a defense of 1, and that defense would eat one of those hits. Unfortunately, none of the characters I brought in have any defense. Okay, his combat rating is 5. So when you do combat, if you don't have a weapon, you can combat with your bare fist, and you get 3 6-sided dice. In order for me to succeed on hitting a monster, I have to roll a 5 or higher, so a 5 and a 6. I have a health of 5, and I have 3 action points. And that's not a lot. This is a slow-moving chug in this game. Okay. I start out with a mental disorder, schizophrenia, or phobia. I pick one of the phobia or schizophrenia cards. I choose which one I want to keep, and I keep it. And in this case, I kept, well, here, we'll go over what I kept in a second. And then I started with a ritual knife, which is a weapon. Now I get to roll 4 dice, and it has a special thing where I can lose a health and add 1 extra die on that. Now, let's go over weapons. So you can see there's a hammer there with a 5. Okay, that's the weapon's durability. If this thing ever gets 5 tokens on it, this weapon is gone, it's useless, it's broken, I'm done with it. Goes in the discard pile. So how does a weapon get a durability token? Well, when you do combat, if you roll any 1s on your attack roll, it's going to get a durability token. Some monsters can cause you to put a durability token on there. And then some of these doors are barricaded. Let's say that door I were to flip it and had a barricades of 3. And it'd say 3 and it'd have a picture of a barricade on there. Well, I can either spend an action point to damage 1 barricade for 1 point until this thing has 3 damage on it, and then I can open it. Or I can take this ritual knife and put 3 durability markers on there and open that barricade. So you can use weapons to open barricades. It's going to cost you a durability point for each point you have to use to open it. Now, he has a special. This is their insanity. This is an insanity track here. I can use an insanity to do a couple things. I can use an insanity to add, when I'm attacking, this chaos die. And I get to roll it with my normal roll. And however many skulls I get is however many hits I get. Okay? If a monster's attacking me, I can use an insanity die to roll this. And this is going to give me however many shields pop up is however many defense I'm going to get. I can use an insanity point to conjure up a locker and search it. I know it sounds weird, but you can do that. And there are a few other things that I'll get into if we have to. If, as you can see, I have, we'll use her. As you can see, she has up to 6. If she ever gets, every time I use an insanity, or something makes me lose an insanity, I put a little token on there. And if I ever get up to 6, if I have to lose an insanity after that, well, I'm going insane. And it's like dying. You have to start back here and everything like that. Okay? Now, you want to keep track of your insanity because you have skills. Okay? And Howard here has 3 skills. Yes, my master, Firewall, in my world. Now, it doesn't cost an action to use my world, but as you see on Firewall, it costs him an action point to use that. Okay? So, when you use a skill, as long as your sanity is not at the top two where it says +2 CD or +1 CD, which stands for cooldown, I put a little token right here. Okay? Now, so if I want to use this, I put this little token right here on 4, and I get to use that ability. However, this thing's going to cool down, so at the end of my turn, at the end of the turn, or the start of the next turn, I can move this down 1, and it'll cool down. Every time I kill a monster, I can cool it down 1. Okay? When it gets back to here, that's 1 cooldown, and then the next turn, I'm free to use this again. Okay? Now, if my sanity were 8 and 7, it's +1, I'd have to have my cooldown here at 5. So, the more insane you are, the longer it's going to take for your stuff to cool down. And these are your special skills. Okay? Now, his special skills are, my world is +2 to attack rolls, and it gains the stun icon. When you stun a monster, or you yourself are stunned, you knock them down, and it's going to cost them an extra action point to stand back up. Monsters have action points too. Howard's special ability is he's the father of all terror. He can gain control over a non-boss monster on your space. It gains +1 action point and +1 to attack rolls. You can move it once per turn, attack with it. Other monsters ignore it, but it loses 1 health at the start of every turn. You can control 2 basic or 1 elite monster at a time. Alright? Okay, now each character also has access to a memory deck. And these are usually benefits that they get. So, you go to these memory shrines, and you spend an action point, and you draw a memory card. And it'll tell you to do something, and usually it's a benefit. Okay, so, also, each character can have 4 items in their inventory that are normal or large items. Reduce it by 2, so they count as 2 items. Some items or weapons are going to say small, and they're not going to count anything towards your inventory. And meds don't count anything towards your inventory. Okay? However, I want to look at a med card. I want to show you something. Like, this is phenobottle. And you can, this has 2 uses. Okay? Once you use it, it's done. Okay. So that's basically how that works. And you'll see more as we go along. Our second character is Grandma Bates. Now, she's obviously based off of Norman Bates. Let's read Philip Howard here. Philip Howard is a horror writer with a talent for creating the most terrifying monsters in literature. One day he started seeing them in real life. But the doctors, damn that glare. The doctors could not diagnose schizophrenia. For now it can only mean that the creatures he sees are real. Alright, here's Grandma Bates. Grandma Bates was signed into the hospital by her lovely granddaughter. She has middle stage Alzheimer's, but she often talks to someone when there's nobody in the room. Staff have tried to contact her granddaughter for help, but they found out that she's been dead for several years. Now you see Grandma Bates has 7 imagination, no defense, 5 combat rating, 6 health. I guess she's stronger than Howard. 2 action points. That's not a lot. However, her special ability, each turn gained 3 extra action points usable for movement. You cannot run. So she can't run. She started with a random weapon, which I gave her the wrench. Alright, there's a memory deck. And then she has Grandma's Pudding. Recover 3 health until the end of the round. When you are on a space with another character or a character enters your space, they can recover die 3 health once per character. Don't hit the old lady. Gain stealth and avoidance 4 for this round. Okay, real quick, let's go over stealth. When you are in a space with a monster, you cannot leave that space. The only way you can leave it is if you have stealth. Okay? There's that. Avoidance. If a monster were to attack and hit you, okay, she has an avoidance 4. So for every hit she took, she can roll a die. And if she gets 4 or higher, that hit is nullified. Okay, that's avoidance. And positive thinking, recover 2 health to a character in a range of 5. That's range 5 spaces. Okay. As you can see, Howard has 8 insanity he can have. She only has 6. And last but not least, we have Marcus Dieter. I have no idea who this guy's based off of. He looks like a Joseph Mengele or maybe Frankensteinish type guy. Dr. Marcus Dieter specialized in transplantology. He was always considered psychotic and paranoid among his peers, so nobody was surprised when he finally got institutionalized. The real shock came when the contents of his private lab were revealed. 8 imagination, no defense, 5 combat, 8 health. He's got health, 3 action points. He starts the game with a lobotomy spike. If you roll at least 1 6, add the chaos die, even if you used insanity to add another one. He has anthrax, all monsters and characters, and so you have to remember that characters too. So it's going to affect everybody. In a single space in 2 range, lose 1 health and are stunned. Ghostbuster. Each 6 result adds an extra attack die. That can also add an extra attack die and so on. And that fist means ethereal or non-ethereal, whatever. And what that means is if he uses that to attack a non-ethereal monster, it's going to go through their defense. So they don't have defense for that. And Mind Shatter is the same thing, and it also stuns. And he gets 6 attack die. Okay, so let's have a look at some of these monsters that we're going to be going up against. We have Mental Patients. These guys, they have 1 action point, 4 health, 5 combat. They attack with 5 die, and they have 1 defense. Okay. That's these guys right here. So your basic run-of-the-mill guys. We have Scavengers. These guys get to move 2 or have 2 action points. It does not cost them an action point to attack. If they're in the same space with you, they're going to attack. They have 5 dice and they have precision. Although precision is really not going to affect us this turn. And what precision means is that if they rolled a 6, that 6 goes through defense. Unfortunately, none of our characters have defense, so it's really not going to matter. They only have 3 health, no defense, 5 combat rating. We have the Nurse. She has 6 dice attack, 4 to hit, 1 action point, 5 health, 1 defense. And because of this special scenario, we have these deep ones that are going to come in. 3 health, 5 combat rating. However, they have a range of 2, so they can attack within 2 spaces. 5 dice, critical strike. What's critical strike? Well, they hit you, and they get a 6. That means you're going to take 2 points of damage, not just the usual 1 for every hit. So they're a little bit tough. Our main baddies that we have to worry about are the Sirens. As you can see, 1 action point. Now, for this scenario, though, however, the Sirens will not move from the spaces they are in unless they are attacked or something like that. 4 health, 4 combat rating, 1 defense. They have an avoidance of 3, so if we hit them, they can try to avoid our thing. They have a range of 3. And they have a special thing where they roll 6 die and they have the frost symbol. If you get the frost symbol on you, it means you have to spend an action point to remove it your next turn. Attacks all characters in range. So this won't be just attacking one person, it's going to be attacking all characters in range. And that range is right now is 3. But there's a special thing that ups their range on the movement cards. We have to go by what color star the movement card has. I think it's if a green color star on the movement card, we have to put a deep one. We spawn a deep one in the space with the siren. If it's the blue one, well, there's green, blue, and red. One of them ups the range for their attack that round, so that's what that does. Alright, damaged characters move the cooldown marker 1 space up on each used skill card, so that she takes it longer for you to use your skills. And for God help us if we ever have to fight the warden. This guy's a beast. He's going to have 24 health because he has 8 times the number of people. He gets 2 attacks. He has Aura of Reality, which means you lose a health at the beginning of your turn if you're on this board here. Unholy means you got to pass an imagination test to even fight him. 3 defense. It only takes him a 3 or higher to hit. Yeah, he's a bad dude. And that's basically all the monsters we'll see on this one. We're going to save the other monsters and stuff like that for any of the other games. So that's basically what's going to happen. Let me go over a couple other things. I'm just going to use... this is a locker token. When you go to a locker, you spend an action point, search it, you flip it. Okay, as you can see, it has items. We have weapons, equipment, drugs, and then there's a picture of a monster. So how do you do that? Well, what you do is you roll however many imagination dice you have. So let's say Grandma here, we're to search that locker. She has 7, so she gets to roll 7 dice. She gets a 4, 5, or 6. It's a success. For every success she gets, counts as 1 point. So if she were to get 5 successes, she can get a weapon. If she were to get 4 successes, she would get equipment. 1 success would give her a drug. And if she didn't get any, a monster would spawn up. You can buy more than one thing on here if you have that many successes. Obviously, she wouldn't because she would have... Well, she could. So she had 5 successes. She should get 1 equipment and 1 drug. Okay? That's how those work. Let's go over doors. Doors can either be blank, not have anything when you open it, when you search it. This is your barricade. I kind of went over that already, but that's your 3 barricades there. So you're going to have to do 3 damage to this thing, or 3 durability tokens on your items. And then we have, let me find one with a lock. Here we go. We have the next type is the lock. Okay, so what do you do with this? Well, again, you're going to kind of do your imagination test. You're going to roll however many number of die. So Grandma Bates would get to roll 7. If she had 3 successes, she could open that door. Okay? Less than 3, no, I'm not going to open the door. Let me see what else I need to cover. Yeah. So I will go over movement cards. I want to pick the bottom card off the deck. Alright, and this is what a movement card basically tells you. First, you're going to start at the top. It says no event this time. Some cards will have good events, some card will have bad events, and then this one has no event this time. Then you have a blue star. It's either going to be blue, green, or red. Sometimes these cards have more than 1 star on them. So, you know, so your special scenario is going to tell you what the color does. Like in our scenario, the blue adds die 6 to the siren's attack range. Okay. And then red is all characters have to pass the siren's call imagination test with -1 to imagination, no matter where they are. All right. So in this scenario, if you were on the same board as the siren, you have to do an imagination test -1, and if you fail, certain bad things are going to happen to you. If you fail by 1 point, you lose 1 health and 1 durability from every weapon. If you fail by 2 points, remember that's the one where you roll 2 dice and you try to get equal or less than your imagination, and you're going to be at -1. If you fail by 2 points, move the cooldown token on all use skills up 1 space. And if you fail 3 points, teleport the character to the small board and place him in the leftmost space. And there's the small board right here. So you would get teleported here. You could not come back. You would be stuck here until that siren is dead if you got teleported here. So that's how that's going to work. Okay, so next thing was we would spawn in a new memory shrine. So you roll randomly to see where that goes. Some cards will have that. That is the warden. That means he's going to move 1 space on the track. As you can see, this card doesn't have it, but some do. And then monsters will move according to their action points. Now it doesn't say what order to move the monsters in. However, one of my little house rules is that I'm going to move the monsters each group at a time. So let's say we have patients, they're going to move first. Then the scavengers, they'll move second and resolve whatever combat they do. And then the nurses, they'll move third and resolve whatever combat they do. So basic monsters will go first. Elite and boss monsters will go last, which elite and then boss will go last. So that's how I want to do that. So you would move the monsters, and monsters got put in your space. Monsters get put in your space. You know, you're gonna move them. You're gonna move monsters. Then you're gonna spawn in monsters. Now, sometimes you can have 3 like that card does. However, when we are playing a 3-person game, another handicap is we don't ever spawn in the 3rd monster. So we only spawn in the first 2. So I would randomly spawn in a patient and spawn in a nurse, and I would roll to see where they would go. And that's how those cards work. And then you would have monster combat. Monster combat. It's a little weird how that works. I always, like to do the whole spawn in thing, but this thing specifically says that let's see here. During the monster turn, you do the event, you do the special symbol, and you do the memory spawn, the ward movement, new monster spawn. That's step E. And it says basically up to 3 monsters, and then monsters attack. So you're going to do movement, then spawn, then attack. And if a monster just happens to spawn on the space that you're on, well, you're crap out of luck, ain't you? Because you're going to get attacked. Okay, so that's basically how that's going to go. One last thing. There is, with the Deep Madness expansion, there's these artifact cards. And these artifact cards are pretty good and powerful. However, you're only supposed to get them when you do a ritual from that thing. And we're not going to do that. I'm going to add these artifact cards in, otherwise it's just going to sit there. If we successfully complete the scenario, each character gets an artifact card, and that the next time they appear in a scenario, they can have that artifact card with them. Okay? If we don't successfully complete the scenario, then they're not getting jack for whatever scenario comes next. And there are other characters in this game, we're going to be using them too, the monsters, all that kind of good stuff later on. So, as you see, there are a couple more skill cards each person has. So we got 4. We got to pick 2, and then put 2 under our cards because we may earn those skills later on. So that's how that's going to go. Let me settle a few little other things, and then we'll go ahead and get started with our first turn. Like I said, I'll try not to make too many mistakes. It's just a lot to keep up with in this and a lot to remember. But I will try. Okay, so last time I played, I tried to take it slow, let the characters get as much stuff as they could, and then eventually make their way to the sirens. However, that strategy didn't work. There ended up being damn near 100 monsters on the board. We ran out of time. We got killed by the warden. It was just a cluster. So, what I think I'm going to do this time is I think I can even kill one siren. I couldn't even get to the siren. So, I think what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to haul ass to this siren up here first, try to kill her before the board just starts overwhelming with monsters, and then try to pick up stuff along the way. I'll use that tactic. So Philip's the first player, and he has 3 action points. So what he's going to do is we're going to move him 1, 2, 3. And that's all he can do. Now there's Grandma Bates here. She's going 1, 2, 3. Now those are her movement action points. She has 2 regular ones. And we're going to flip this lock over. And it's a 4 thing lock. Alright, so that was 1 action point to flip it over. We're going to spend a last action point to try to open it. Now, I want to say one thing. Normally, monsters can move through doors. Like this monster right here, when it's his time for him to move, he can move through that door, no problem. However, when you flip a locked door, a door token over, and it's either a locked door or a barricade door, that monster cannot cross that. So the monster, when it moves, it will find an alternate route to get to you, and it may take him, he may have to go a roundabout way to get to you. That's one benefit of flipping over door tokens, and that can stop monsters from getting to you. However, you're going to have to eventually open it, so we're going to go ahead and try. So she's going to do an imagination test. She has 7 die. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. And we need 4s, 5, and 6s. So we need 4 of them. Okay, so we got 1, 2, and that is it. We did not get the... Look at that crap roll. We didn't get the 3rd one. Or we didn't get 2 more. So we failed that test. However, we do get to put 2 things on there showing we've done 2 of the locks. Okay. And that's her turn. Marcus's turn. He's going to go. And he's coming out 1, 2, 3. That is his turn. That's his action points. That's all for our hero's turn right now. So let's go ahead and do our movement phase. Now we have He Demands Blood. God damn it. The ward moves 1 space forward on the Insomnia track unless players sacrifice 3 plus the number of characters' health total. So that'd be 6 health. I could do it 2, 2, and 2. Either way, this round he's gonna go get an extra movement. Oh boy, that's not good. It's not a good. Oh man, what do I do? But if I die, he's going to get to move 3. And I don't want to be weak. I just don't want to. Alright, he gets to move an extra space. I can't. I'm not going to lose any health. Okay, so now we have the star. And that's the special ability according to the scenario. And the green one means a deep one is going to spawn next to each siren. So a deep one's going to be there. And deep one here. Deep one there. So we're kind of already got problems. Of course, then he moves up. Once again, he goes to space number 3. And now we have to do monster movement. Alright, so we'll take patience first. They will go after the closest person that's in line of sight. If they don't have line of sight, they just move one space closer to each human or character. So this patient right here is obviously going to move there. This one right here, let's see here. Is either going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so he's actually going to move there. This guy is going to move here. Let's see, we have one more patient, and he's definitely going to move here. Now let's do scavengers. They get to move 2 spaces. So this guy's going to move 1, 2. Let's see here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, he's going to move 1, 2. Alright. Alright, this guy is either 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 1, 2. And then this guy, 1, 2. Okay, so next are the deep ones. They move 1 space. 1 and 1. Now it's a siren. And unfortunately, she has a badass attack. And we are actually on the board that she's on. So we're going to have to do that imagination test thing. Okay, so that was at the beginning of each turn. This is not the beginning of this turn, so we'll have to do that at the beginning of when the heroes go. However, she does get a ranged attack, and if you remember, she is range 3. And it's basically her singing. That's another thing that kind of... Well, that doesn't make any sense. Attacks all characters in range. Okay, alright, hold on. Now, she can't see any of them, so she doesn't have line of sight. So, she can't do a ranged attack on them. I was thinking that was singing, but that's actually... see, that doesn't... I don't know. Let me look at something. That doesn't make any sense. Alright, well, for her to attack me, she's going to have line of sight. She does not have line of sight on me. Her range is 3, but she doesn't have line of sight on me. Line of sight is basically if you can draw a straight line to any other space. Within her, for her, it's 3 spaces. It's fine. However, walls and closed doors block line of sight. Characters and monsters do not block line of sight. So we kind of got lucky. Siren's not going to attack us. However, it is now the beginning. We have to spawn in. I'm sorry. We have to spawn in a scavenger and a patient. So let's spawn them in. A5. So patient's going to come in at A5. And a scavenger is going to come in at C3. Which is right here. Okay. And so, that was the first round. Alright, let's do our second round. Let's move it to Grandma here. Old Grandma Bates. She's the first player. Now, remember, everybody on that board has to do an imagination thing. As they're singing, okay, you're going to have to do an imagination test by 1. So, her imagination is 7. It's going to be -1. It's going to be 6. She passed. She got a 3. Marcus is going to be 7. Alright, he got 8. Alright. Because the -1, he failed it. So, he's just -1 point. So he's going to lose 1 health. Song's driving him crazy. So, put that there. And he's going to lose durability on every weapon, which is the lobotomy spike. Howard has 9. Okay, all he needed was an 8 or higher, and he made it. Okay, so Grandma Bates' turn. I think I'm going to move Grandma Bates. Well, no, she's going to have to do a test here. That's right, I forgot. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. To try to finish opening this. Oh, man, she got 2 4s. So that is good enough to open this door. So this door is now open. We have an open door. That's 1 action point. Now she's going to use a movement point to come in here, and she's going to use her second action point to search this locker. And this is that. Now she has 7. See how many successes she gets? 1, 2, 3, 4 successes. So I can get a weapon, or I can get an item and a drug. I think I'm going to get an item and equipment and a drug. And she gets medical history. Draw a card from any mental disorder deck. Replace one of your skills, even a basic skill, with it or discard it. It costs me 1 to use. Huh. Well, you know, I kind of like her skills though, man. I don't want to replace them. I mean, I may trade that to Howard. Alright, so she's going to get drug as well, and this is, I don't know what that is. Add 1 chaos die to the next attack. Well, that's a good one right there. Okay, she can do another movement point, but I think, yeah, why not? She's going to, I know you're going to think it's crazy, but you'll see in a minute what I'm going to do. She's going to go ahead and move 1 there. Okay, so it's Marcus's turn. And Marcus is going to move 1, 2, 3. That's all he can do. Now Philip's turn, and he's going to move 1, 2. Now he's going to spend an action point to do his, well, he doesn't have to really, it's his ability. He's going to do Father of All Terror. And what he's going to do is he's going to gain control over that patient, and he's going to move that patient to attack that deep one. So that's what he's going to do. So he's going to do that, and he's going to try to have that patient kill the deep one. Now the patient's going to get 5 die. Anything higher, alright, he's going to get 5 die, 5 or higher or hits. Well, he didn't hit. So that sucked. Well, that didn't work. Okay, so now the patient is going to stay in his control. But every turn the patient is going to lose health. And so, eventually it'll die. However, Howard has another action point he can do. Actually, no. Let's see. He moved 1, 2. He did it. Okay, he did that. He got the move. But he's going to play this. Yes, my master. It doesn't cost him to do anything. Choose a controlled monster. All monsters on its space attack it instead of other characters. So basically, when it comes time for that deep one to move, it's not going to move. It's going to just attack that monster. Okay, so that's going to be a good thing for that. And that is the end of our hero's turn. Alright, so let's do some monsters here. Let's do an event here, and we have Can't run, can't hide. Monsters gain +1 action for this turn. That's horrible. Okay. Have another green star, so deep one's going to spawn there. Deep one's going to spawn here. Damn it. He's moving to number 4. Oh boy. Now we're going to have monster moving, and they get an extra action point. And action points are basically movement points. So we'll start with the patients. They're going to get 2 movement points this turn. So we'll go ahead and let's start on this block right here. He's going to move 1, 2. This guy's going to move 1, 2. And this guy's going to move 1, 2. That was close. 1, 2. Our guy is controlled. He's not going to move. And that's it for mental patients. Let's do scavengers. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay. 1. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now deep ones. 1, 2. 1, 2. Okay, he's not going to move. And let's see. All monsters on its space attack it. Okay, so he's going to move 1, and he's going to attack as well. So, let's have the deep one attack the mental patient. They get 5 die. They have critical strike for 5. So the first one's going to attack. Okay, well, let's see. It's got 2 hits. Now critical strike does 2 damage. However, the mental patient has 1 defense. So this will nullify that. However, the mental patient is going to take 2 damage. Okay, he has 4 health, and then the other deep one's going to attack. And look what he got. 3 6s. So we know the other deep one is going to kill this guy. So he's taken out. Okay. And now it is the siren's turn. Now, I still don't say she has line of sight. You're supposed to be able to draw a straight line. But I don't know, man. She would have to go in. That doesn't make any sense. Okay, so she's not going to be able to attack. I'm going to go ahead and just call that right there as that. That doesn't make any sense. Now we have to spawn in some monsters, and we have to spawn in a scavenger and a patient. So let's do scavenger. C5. Right there. And the patient. D4. Way over here. Okay. So that was a crappy turn. Let's cool down everybody's things, which we haven't used. And then remember at the beginning we have to do an imagination test because we are on the same board as the siren. So we'll start with Grandma. Okay, she failed. She failed by 2 points. move the cooldown. Okay, well, she hasn't used any cooldown, so that's not going to be a problem. Marcus, he passed. And Philip, oof, he failed. Man, did he fail. Okay, so he failed by 2 as well. So the cooldown is going to move up onto there. That's going to be a shame. Okay, well, it's our hero's turn. Alright, and we're moving the first player token to Marcus. Alright, what's Marcus wonder? I can use Anthrax. Alright, I think I might do that. Alright, so with Marcus, I'm going to spend an action point, and I'm going to use the Anthrax here. All monsters and characters on a single space within 2 range lose 1 health and are stunned. If a monster's stunned, I can move through their space, so that's fine. I'm going to knock them down. They're each going to lose 1 health. That's good. And their stun's out. It cost me 1 action point, 2 action point, 3 action point. So I'm kind of right there at her. Howard's going to go. And he has 3 action points. And I think I'm going to go 1. Wait a minute. I could have moved him. He was here. I was 1, 2. I moved him in the same space as her. Yeah, I could have done that. Yeah, I could have done that. Okay, yeah, alright. Alright, now, do I want to do firewall? Choose 2 adjacent spaces and place 3 red tokens between them. It might give me time. 1, 2. Well, I can attack 1 time. I think that's what I'm going to do. Alright, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to 1, 2, and he's going to spend his 3rd action. And he's going to attack her with the ritual knife. Okay? And that's going to give me 4 dice. However, I'm going to spend 1 life point to add an extra dice. And I'm going to spend an insanity to add the chaos die. And hopefully, I can get a few hits on this lady. Remember, she has 1 defense, but she only has 4 life. But she does have that avoidance crap. So let's see. Oh, man, come on now. Alright, so, that's a miss. Okay, it's 2 hits with that. Wow, that's some good stuff, though, man. I hear her 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. Okay, so we know 1 defense is going to cancel that out. So we'll go ahead and take that 1 defense. So she has an avoidance of 3. So she has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're gonna roll 5 die, and any 3s or higher, which means she avoided that hit. Ugh, that was almost every single one. Okay, she took 1 hit. Ugh. That is not good. Well, I mean, okay, man, that stunk. Okay. And that's Philip's turn. Now I'm going to have Grandma Bates. I'm going to move her 1, 2, and that's her free movement. She doesn't have to attack. She can do 2 attacks if she wanted to. Okay, she's going to spend, actually we're going to do a little plan here. She's going to spend 1 cost to gain stealth and avoidance for this round. That means she can gain an avoidance when the siren attacks. She's going to use the wrench. She's going to get 5 die for that. However, if she uses this medicine, she gets the chaos die. That's what she's going to do. So we're going to use that meds and be done with that. Then she's going to spend an insanity and use the other chaos die. We get to roll the chaos die twice. Let's see how well she does. Okay, well, she got 1 hit, 2 hit, 3 hit, 4 hits. Okay, she did another good 4 hits, 5 hits, and then I get to roll the chaos die again. 6, 7 hits. Okay, so 1 hit is going to get nullified by her defense. So 6 hits, and alright, she gets to roll 6 die. See how many she gets to avoid. Let's roll low. Okay, well, holy cow. Alright, so looks like she avoided 3 hits. However, she took 3 hits. And that's going to kill this lady. So we killed this siren. Yeah. Well, this strategy is working out much better than I did last time. Now, we don't get any rewards for killing her, except Grandma gets the cooldown on one of her abilities, and that would be don't hit the old lady. That actually worked a lot better. And where does she want to go now? She moved 1, 2. She can move a 3rd space. But what I think is going to happen is I think I will keep her. Well, she does have the avoidance. I think I'll just move her. She's going to stay there. Okay, that was not a bad turn. I'm already doing better in like the 2nd or 3rd turn now than I did last game, which is great. So now we have monster to go. Let's do the movement card. No event this time. Alright, now we have the blue star. And what the blue star is D6 to the siren's attack range this turn. Okay. I'll roll ahead and roll that. So she gets 6 extra attack range this turn. But she's not in line of sight of anybody, so... Okay. We're going to do a shrine. Spawn that on the board. And that's going to be, well, alright, B3. Right here. Where we were. The warden's not moving, so that's good news. And now we have monster movement. And we start with the mental patients, of course. And we'll start with him. He'll move. I guess he'll move this way. This one will move this way. He will move here. He will move, of course, here. And I think that's it. Let's do scavengers. We'll start down here. Let's see, which is the closest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Okay, these guys stand up. That's 1. Well, that'll be deep ones, but we're gonna 1. 1, 2. 1. I can move him here. I'll move him there. 2. 1, 2. Okay, I think and now deep ones move, and like I said, he'll 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2. 1, 2. Ooh, on that one that way. I stood those 2 guys up, and then the other one, and that's it. Okay, so we're actually okay. I can't believe that. Now let's spawn in a patient and a nurse. Patient comes in at D4. It's fine. It's way over here. And the nurse comes in at C2. Right here. Okay. Okay. First player token is going back to Philip. We cool down his thing. And let's see, we cool down this. Grandma gets a cooldown here, and he gets a cooldown there. Okay. Okay, Philip, what are we doing? Alright, let's do Philip. He's first. So we're going to have to go 1, 2, and he's going to flip this. And it's blank. And that's it for his actions. Grandma can go. We're going to move her 2. She's going to spend 1 action to do a memory. Okay. So let's spend an action to do a memory. And let's see what memory we get. Alright, nobody gets admitted to this facility without meeting the warden first. After serving you tea, he sits, smiling and waiting, nodding after you take each sip. Before you realize you become catatonic, you cannot move, but you can feel especially the pain when the chief administrator starts performing a vivisection on you with his bare hands. Before you pass out, you can see that he measures your organs carefully and writes the number down in a worn notebook. You can only imagine what he needs the data for. Roll imagination test. Success. Move the warden 1 space backwards. Okay. That'll come in handy. Come on, imagination. Alright, we passed. So we move him back to space 3. Okay, so that was 2 movement points, 1 action point. She gets 1 more movement point. And she can do 1 more action point. Is there anything I want to do? She's going to give Philip his medical history. Okay, so it's Marcus's turn now. And he's going to move 1, 2, and he'll move to this body right there. And that'll be 3, and that's basically all he can do. Yeah. Okay, so let's do our next movement. We have, alright, lucked out again. No event this time. No stars. The warden's going to move, but that's okay. And we have to spawn in 2 characters. Alright. A patient and a scavenger. Well, let's hope we get lucky. Oh, wait, first we got a monster movement. I forget about that. Okay, so let's start with patience. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. That's the patience. Now let's do the scavengers. 1, 2, 1. All right. 1, 2. Okay. 1, 2. Okay. Deep ones. 1. Remember, these guys got those. 1, 1. Any other deep ones on the board? No. Alright, so I'm going to have Philip get attacked once, and I'm going to have Grandma get attacked once. I think that's only fair. Oh, we got to move the nurses. I'm sorry. We have a nurse on the board, too. So we're going to move her, 1. Siren, she can't really do anything. We're not on the same board as her, so we don't have to do that. We didn't get a star. We don't have to worry about none of that. So nobody's in range. Okay. So let's start with Philip. Since he's the first player, he's going to get attacked. They have 5 dice. They have precision, but it's not going to matter. We don't have any defense. So 5 dice, and they need a 5 or higher to hit. I think I'm going to spin an insanity and roll the shield with it, even though they have precision. Okay, well, they only hit once with the 5, and I rolled the shield, so Howard's okay. And let's do Grandma Bates, and she's going to do the same thing. She's going to spin an insanity here and roll the shield die. Okay, well, that's not going to matter because it has precision, so it's going to preclude her defense, but she only got hit once. She's going to take 1 damage. Okay, and now we have to spawn in a patient, which is D2. Okay, and a scavenger, which is A12, which is way up here. Okay, way up there. Okay, and that is it. I already tell you, no matter if I lose this game, I'm already doing better than I was last time. Okay, so we got first player's going to Grandma. Everybody can cool down 1, so let's cool down. Grandma can cool down. He can cool down. Alright, let me think about what I want to do. We got 2 monsters in their spaces. We can't move until we kill them. Grandma's the first player. She can't use this. She has the wrench. They only have 3 health. They don't have any defense. Alright, let me think. Alright, so it's our player's turn now, and I've reset their cooldowns and everything, and Marcus is now the first player. And he's going to spend an action point to turn over this body. And it's going to be... okay. Some equipment. Let's see what he gets. He gets Messiah's Seal. Attached to a weapon, it attacks become, I guess, holy. Discard Messiah's Seal when this weapon is destroyed. Okay. Alright, I guess I'll attach it to his lobotomy spike. That's the only weapon he has. And then he's going to move 1, 2. Okay. So now it's Howard's turn. And Howard is going to use his ability. He can control 2 monsters. 2 regular monsters. He's going to control those 2 in there. And they actually get 1 extra movement point, which is really good because they can normally move 2 spaces, so that means they would get to move 3. Oh, also, I traded in his medical history, and he got this helicopter smash attack, which, you know, you can use 7 dice and stun somebody, or do an area attack and roll 3 dice. So that's actually a really good ability. I did pretty good on that. So he's going to control these guys. He's going to move them 1, 2, 3. Now they're going to attack that scavenger right there, and they get scavengers get 5 dice. They have precision. It's not gonna matter though because they don't have any defense. So they get a 5 or higher. Alright, he got 2. So one of them did 2 damage to it. And the other one did 1 damage to it. That's just enough to kill the thing. So this scavenger is taken off the board, and we still have control of these 2 monsters. And now we haven't used any action points whatsoever for Howard, because that's his ability. So he's going to move 1, 2, and he's going to flip this, and it's going to be a barricade of 2. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and use 2 of these. And remove that barricade. So that barricade has been removed, and that's basically the end of his turn. So it's Grandma Bates' turn, and she can have 3 movement points. So we'll move her 1, 2, 3, I'll spend one of her regular points to move here, and she's going to flip this. Okay, let's see what we got. Alright, we have a 5, a 3, and a 4, and a monster. So she's going to do an imagination test. And let's see how many she succeeds at. Alright, well, she got 2 successes. That's going to be a problem. Because she failed to get any one item, a monster is going to spawn there. And it's going to be a patient. That was a bad turn of luck. That sucks. You had to freaking mess that up, lady. You had 7 died and you couldn't get a fucking... Alright. So we're going to put a patient on here. Of course, that patient will attack her. She can't move out of that space. However, I see I moved her 1, 2. Yeah, that's right. I had to spend an extra action point to move. And alright, so that's the end of the turn. Let's do our event. No event this time. Alright, we got lucky again. We have a blue star. And let's see, that's a D6 to Siren's attack range. Well, that's not going to matter. We're going to spawn in a shrine. And that's going to be at B2. Which is right here. Alright, our baddie's going to move to space number 5. And now we're going to have monster movement. Okay. And let's see, we'll start with our patients. Well, we got one there. We know it's going to attack Grandma Bates. We're going to have one move here. And it's going to move here. And this one's going to move here. This one's going to move here. And we have one more right here. It's going to move right there. Oh, and this one here. Okay. Scavengers. Well, these two are under our control, so they're not going to move. We have the 3 here. 1, 2. They're going to be on this space with these deep ones. And now let's move the deep ones. They're going to move 1. And let's see, this one's going to move 1. He's going to move 1. And that is actually it. That's not too bad. Now the patient is going to attack Grandma Bates. Alright, so he's going to get 5 die. And I'm thinking about doing another insanity and letting her roll the shield. So she's going to do that. She's going to get a shield. I freaking messed that up. I don't know how I did that. Okay, so here we go. Alright, well, it hit once and she blocked once. So that's actually pretty good. Okay. So that's it. So, oh, let's spawn in some monsters. We're spawning a scavenger, and he's going to go C10 right here, and a patient B9. Where's B9? Oh, it's right back here. Okay. Alright. That's the end of that. Let's move our first player token to Philip. We'll cool down 1. Cool down that one. Grandma's good. Marcus is good. Okay. So Philip's turn. He can make these monsters attack once per turn. So I think oh, they're gonna each lose a health. Yep. So we'll keep track of that. I'll tell you what, we'll just put these right here. They're each gonna lose a health. And he's gonna move both of these guys. Oh man, you know what? We forgot to move the nurse. She's gonna move there. I don't remember about her. Yeah. Okay, so there you're gonna move 1, and they're gonna attack that deep one. And let's see, they're gonna get 5. Deep one has no defense. Well, that's 1 hit. And then the next one another hit. So that's just 2 hits. So this deep one is still alive, unfortunately. Wait a minute. They get +1 to all attack rolls. Well, crap. Well, I didn't roll any 4s. Okay, I forgot about that. That's my fault. So the deep one's still alive. That's fine. Alright. Okay. Marcus is going to assume Grandma is going to take care of herself. So, what we're going to do is we're going to move Marcus 1. He's going to flip this. It's going to be 2. And he's going to do an imagination test. Just 9. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And try to open that lock. And this will be his turn. Okay, well, let's see. 1, 2, 3. That's good enough. Barely, but it's good enough. So, he opens that lock. Okay, and then he's going to play this again, and the monsters are going to attack these guys. So that's fine. Alright, so it's Grandma's turn. She's in there with that patient. She has the wrench. Or, how about this? We're going to use this. She's going to gain stealth and avoidance for this round. That's going to cost her 1 action point. So she's going to move 1, 2, 3. And we can move 1 more action point. And I think we will. We'll move into there. Okay, that's her. Marcus is going to go. And I think I'm going to move him 1, 2. And he's going to move here. And that's going to be it for him. And that's it. Okay, so now it's the monster turn. Let's hope our luck keeps going. Alright, characters cannot use defense skills this turn. Well, we don't have any defense skills. Well, yes, we do. Shit. So, this actually is not going to be able to be used. Damn. This is not going to be able to be used. Damn it. So we have a blue star. We know what that means. We're going to have a movement here. So he's going to 6. Where's 6 at? Right here. And now we're going to have monster movement. So because of that thing, we can't use defense. None of that stuff is going to work. So we're gonna have to move the monsters. Okay, so the patients 1, 1, 1. Let's see here. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay. Now we do the other guys, these scavengers. So 1, 2. These 2 aren't going to move because they're part of my guys. However, we have 3 here, so they're going to move 1, 2. And this guy's going to move 1, 2. Alright, we have the deep ones now. And he's going to move 1. He's going to move 1. And these guys are each going to move 1. And that's it. So the deep one gets to attack. And the nurse, she's going to move 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, yeah. Alright. So deep one gets to attack Philip. And they have actually we're gonna have a couple of attacks. Actually, I forgot about the deep ones have a range of 2. So this one's gonna attack, this one's gonna attack. They just moved out, so he has line of sight. Both of these, 1, 2. Philip is gonna get attacked 4 freaking times. Yeah. Okay, well, there's nothing we can do. 3, 4, 5. Alright, the first one. 2 hits. One's a critical. So that's 3 damage. 1, 2, 3. He has 5 health, so one more hit and he's dead. Okay. This one's attacking. And I think I'm going to spend an insanity and give myself a shield. Okay, well, 1 hit. I had 2 shields. So that blocks that, so that's good. Okay. Now we have 2 more attacking. And I think I'm going to do the same thing. We're going to go ahead and just boom, 4 and 4. We'll do 4. Let's see what happens. Alright, well, that's a complete miss. And 5. 2 hits. Dang, man. Oh, man, that's bad. 2 hits. 1 shield only. So 1 hit gets through. So Howard is actually out. Okay, so we have to pay for this. So let's see what happens. Howard goes all the way back to the start. And he's either going to go to A, B, C, or D. He's going to go to C. We'll start him there. He does heal. He's full health. He loses 2 sanity, or gains 2 sanity. Everything else stays the same. However, that guy gets to move 3 spaces. Now that's the killer. So it's 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. And man, that was rough. Okay. So, eesh. Ugh. That hurt. That hurt bad. Let me see here. Is there anything else? Okay, all items lose 1 durability, so ritual nice at 3. Okay, well, alright, there we go. There's that. So the first player token, oh, we have to spawn now. We have to spawn in 2 patients. And we are at D10. And D7. Alright, so a lot happening over on this area. Okay, so let's move this. Grandma, we'll cool this down. I mean, that... Okay. His anthrax is back. We'll cool this down. This gets cooled once. There we go. Grandma Bates. Okay. So she's going to spend a movement point. And she's going to uncover that locker. Alright. That's a movement point. So it's a movement point and an action point. Alright. To search. So she has imagination of 7. Let's see what she can get. Okay, well this was much better, actually. She has 5 successes. Well, she can do 1. Yeah, okay. I think she's going to do some more equipment. She gets tarot cards. Costs won't move a non-boss monster 2 spaces in any direction. Not through walls. Okay, that's not actually a bad thing. Alright. And then she's going to spend her second action to flip this, and that's a lock of 2. And that's the end of her turn. Okay, Marcus's turn is going to, he's going to try to unlock that lock. He has an imagination of 8. So this is spend a point to do that. And he passes, no problem. So this lock is now gone. And that was 1, 2, 3. Wait. Ooh. Let me see something here. Actually, this is what's going to happen. He's going to move 2. No, he's going to do 3. Well, maybe he can fight that thing off. I think that's what he's going to do. He's going to go ahead and move forward 1 more space, and that's good. Okay. Philip's turn. Philip still has control of these monsters. We're going to go ahead and put 2 more health loss on them. He's going to move them. And what he's going to do is he's going to have them move here and attack that deep one. Let's finish that deep one off. He's just going to have one attack that deep one. He's going to have another one attack this other deep one. These deep ones are a pain in the ass. So 3, 4, 5. Can this deep one get killed? Well, you got 1 hit. That is good enough. No defense. This deep one is dead. Okay. And the other one is going to attack the deep one. That's 1 hit. He has no bonus or anything like that, so this is going to put 1 damage on that deep one. Okay, so Howard, that's a special ability. I think what I may do with Howard is I may just give him 2 extra action points and have him run like the against 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I think that's going to be it because this monster is going to attack Howard next, and that's going to be the end of that turn. So let's do our next event. No event. Alright, no star. We spawn in a shrine. Alright, C5. Kind of close by where we're at. It's going to be right where Marcus is at. That's good. Alright, we're going to have... He's going to move. He's at 10. We don't have much time. Alright, now we have monster movement. Him getting knocked out really hurt things. Okay, so let's do patience. 1, 1, 1. 1, 1. We're going to have 1. Alright, we're going to have 1, 1, 1, 1, and 1. Okay. Scavengers. Alright, we're going to have this one. It's going to obviously move. These are R2 scavengers, so they're not going to move. This one over here will move. 1, 2. And let's see here. We do have 1 back. We have 3 back there. So it's going to go 1, 2. Okay. Nurses move 1. Alright. Deep ones move 1. So these two deep ones move one. One, two. Alright, they cannot hit her. Let's see here. One, one, two. However, he can hit Grandma Bates. So that thing's going to attack Grandma Bates. It's 5 die. I think Grandma should be alright. Oh my goodness. 2 critical strikes. That's going to be 4 damage. She's still alive though. She has 6 health, so... Oops. 2, 3... She's going to be at 5 health. Not good. And the siren still doesn't do anything. However, we are on the board. So, what's going to happen is, I forgot to do that last turn as well. Yeah, I did. So we're going to do it twice. 1 for each turn. How about that? I forgot to do that. Alright, and then, okay. We know he's going to attack, so let's see what he does. 1 hit. Okay. And now we have to spawn in 2 patients. So we are at D9. Okay. And we are at A7. Way up here, which is a good thing. Alright. Okay. So now it is the start of Hero's turn. We're going to move Marcus. While that's there. Let's see. He's cooled back down. This thing's cooled down. Grandma's cooled down. Now we each have to make our imagination test. So, and these guys have lost 1 health. So, these guys, 2 of these guys are dead. Those were the ones we were controlling. So that's fine. Man, there's a lot of people in these spaces. But okay. Alright, so, we'll see. We have to do imagination. First player is Marcus. He passes, no problem. Philip passes. Grandma. Okay, well, she failed by 1 point. So it's at a -1. If I remember right. But that's not bad with her, because she failed it by 2 points. So, what she's going to have to do is, that's a good thing she failed it by 2 points. If she failed it by 1 point, she'd have lost 1 health and 1 durability. So she actually rolled an 8. She actually has imagination of 6 because of the -1. So, she only loses it by 2. I don't know how I put that there. I put 1 too many there. So her cooldowns are going to move back up 1. That is, we were lucky on that. That is just pure out luck. Okay, so it's Marcus's turn. Marcus is going to spend a point to do his memory shrine. So let's see what happens with Marcus. Alright, you try to sleep, but there are cruel laughs coming from the warden's lounge. You tremble when you hear footsteps in the hallway and freeze when the door opens. A group of hooded figures sneak in and approach your roommate's bed. In the morning you see that his body is covered in cuts and scars. He never spoke to you again. They told him you did it. Roll an imagination test. Okay, I passed. Success, move the warden 1 space backwards. Okay, well that's good. That buys us a little bit more time. So he's back at 9. Okay. So that was 1 action. Let's do 2 action and 3. Okay, so it's Philip Howard's turn. And, he's going to use his ability. to have this scavenger come over here, and he either attack the patient or the nurse, and I think I'm going to have him attack the patient. Okay, and he hit the patient 2 times. The patient does have 1 defense, so but he does have precision. So yeah, that attack's going to get through the defense. So the patient's going to take 1 damage. I think that's how that works. I don't know. Let me check that. I'll check that in just a second. It's going to be either 1 or 2. Okay, so Howard's going to move 1. He's going to flip this over. And oh shit. 5 barricade. Okay, well, I can spend 1 action. It's not good. Okay. That's fine. I think what I'm going to do is... Oh boy. Well, he's not getting in there no matter what, so that's the end of his turn. Now it's Grandma's turn, and she's gonna go 1, 2, 3 movement points. She's gonna spend 1 point to move here, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and spend a cost. We're going to spend her second cost, and she's going to recover 2 health, and that's that. Okay, so now it is the event phase. No event. Good. Alright, her range goes up to 6, but that's not going to matter because she still doesn't have line of sight on them. We spawn in a shrine A1. Ward's moving. He moves back to 10. And now we're going to have some monster movement and see what we get. Let's do our patience. 1, 1, 1. Okay. 1, 1, 1. 1, 1, 1, 1, and 1. Let's do our scavengers. This is our scavenger, so he's not going to move. This one's going to move 2. We have here, so they're going to move 1, 2. This one's going to move 1, 2, and that's it for scavengers. Let's do... Oh man, did I move that patient guy? I don't think I did I? That's not going to matter. We'll just move him 1 space, just in case. Alright, so the nurse, she'll move 1. And the deep ones will move 1. So he's moving 1. And these guys are moving 1. Alright, so it's going to be the beginning of our turn. And then we'll have to do our imagination test. So let me get all that stuff straightened out. And we'll figure it out. Alright, so I've moved the first player token. Done all the cooldowns. We rolled for the Sirens ability. Everybody passed. So it is Philip's turn. And let's see here. We got to break down that barrier. So Philip, what he's going to do is he's going to spend two things from the ritual knife, which is going to actually use the item. Okay. And that's going to break down 2 of the 5 things we need on the barrier. Then he's going to spend his 3 actions to remove the barrier. Okay. And he also has his one dude here, which he's going to move him there, and he's going to have him attack that mental patient, which that's his 2nd health for our guy. Okay, well, we got 2 pops that time. The mental patient has 1 defense. However, that is a critical strike. So the mental patient, who had already been wounded, is dead. So this mental patient is out. Alright. And that's it for Philip's turn. Okay. Grandma Bates is going to spend a movement point to go there. Then she's going to spin the tarot card. Costs 1 action, and she's going to move a non-boss monster 2 spaces in a direction. So she's going to move the nurse 1, 2 spaces there. And then with her 2nd action, she is going to attack with the wrench. It's going to give her 5 die. I'm just hoping maybe to chip just a little bit enough to have Marcus come in there and do what he's got to do. I mean, yeah, Marcus, yeah. So, well, alright, she got 2 hits actually. That's actually pretty good. 2 hits. Okay. Now, we know it has a defense of 1, so we'll get rid of 1 hit. Now, she does have that avoidance, so we'll see if she does it. Okay, well, she passed. Okay, so no hits. Not what I wanted, but okay. And that's basically Grandma Bates' turn. Next is going to be Marcus. I'm going to move him 1. Okay, now I have his Ghostbuster and Mind Shatter. And I'm going to be using Ghostbuster here. And that gives me 8 dice, non-ethereal people. So I'm going to go through her defenses. Okay, now avoidance is a different story, but that's fine. And each 6 result adds an extra attack. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So now also I'm going to spend an insanity. And I'm going to roll the chaos die. I should have did that with Grandma there, but oh well. So let's see what I get. Okay, well, I got 1, 2, 3 hits, 4, 5 hits. Okay. So she's gonna get to roll 5 die. Oh, I did roll 1 6, so I get an extra attack. That's another. Okay, so that's 6 hits, and I roll another 6. That's 7 hits. I can keep rolling. I can keep rolling until I don't get a 6. Okay, so that's 7 hits. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. She can do her avoidance. Anything a 3 or higher, she passes. Oh man. Alright, well, hold on. Okay, well, that's fine. She was able to avoid 4 of the hits, but she took 3. She has a health of 4. Okay. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Now, with Marcus's 2nd action point, I mean his 3rd action point, I'm going to attack with Mind Shifter. Actually, this doesn't cost me anything. So this is free. So I'm going to get 5. Now she can't be stunned, but it's the ethereal thing again. So her defense is going to matter. So I get 6 die. I'm going to take an insanity again and roll the chaos die. Ah, come on. God damn it. Well, that was the shield die, so that's fine. Alright. Damn it, come on. These dies rolling everywhere. Okay, that's 3, 4. That's not that good. 4 pops. She doesn't get a defense roll. However, she gets the avoidance roll. All I gotta do is have 1 to hit. And I did. She had 3 6s. Look at that, and a 1. So that's 1 damage on her, which is enough. Oh no, it is not. Dang, man. Yeah, it's enough to kill her. That's 4. So the siren is dead. So we won. Now normally you would start the second scenario and we'd have plenty of time because he'd have to go over to this board and do the 12 spaces on that one as well. But I mean, look at all these monsters coming. So we won. So we're gonna each gain an artifact card, and we'll be able to take these with us. Cursed Caribbean coin. You have permanent stealth. That's pretty good. No, it's not. Damn it! I drew 1 extra. Okay. Blackthorn wand. 5 dice. Indestructible. Wow, what a weapon. Staff of Ra. Attack every monster on the space. Can be used once per turn, and you lose 1 health. Yeah, okay. Crystal Skull. Teleport any space. Cannot be used when carrying a scenario objective or more than once per turn. Okay. Remember that. So the next time Grandma, Philip, and Marcus play, they have these artifacts. Killing this siren. Alright. Few comments about this game. I've played this game twice a day. Same exact scenario. This second time I did a lot better. I used a different strategy. Instead of prodding around trying to pick up stuff and make our character stronger, then go to attack the sirens, which didn't work because I couldn't even get to any of the sirens because there were so many monsters by that time. I ran out of time. I fought the warden. He killed us. This strategy, I went and used what strengths I had to go and do what I had to do to kill the sirens before they could really do anything. Also, I made a lot less mistakes this time. I know the first time I played I made a lot of mistakes. I probably made a couple mistakes this time, but who knows. As I said before, I do enjoy this game. I think this is one of those hidden gem type games. I know it came out on Kickstarter. I don't think they'll ever do anything else with this game. I think this game was maybe moderately successful. I think it took a lot of flack for some of the quality of some of the miniatures and for the horrible instructions in the rule book, and for I mean, if you not any much support after the game. Hell, if you go to Titanfor's website, they don't even mention lobotomy, which is a shame, because this could be a franchise type game. You'd have to tweak a few things, but this game screams expansions. If I had this as an intellectual property, I would do something with it instead of let it just go to waste. And the reason being is because there's so much more you can add to this, so much more in the horror, fantasy, science fiction genre you can do to this. I think it's a really neat idea, having mental disorders and using them as strengths. I think that's very original. Getting memories back when you go to these shrines, even though they're bad memories, and some are bad, some are good, and getting your memories back and make you stronger. This game, you kind of have to go out of your way to search for stuff. You have to make yourself stronger, but you have to put a rush on you. You can't dilly-dally around and explore everywhere. But you do have to do some searching. I think one problem with this game is there can be way too many monsters on this board. I think some of the event cards should have been monster free, because you're keeping up with so much. Or there should be some kind of way or power or something to eliminate mass groups of monsters. Hell, close a portal, eliminate all patients, mental patients. Close a portal, or hit a Nova bomb, or kill a boss, and all scavengers go with it. I mean, it can really get out of hand. I think I might have to house rule something on that, because it does get. Now this scenario specifically with the deep ones, they got in added extra. So normally these deep ones won't be in there. But if you're playing with 5 people, man, you're adding 3 different sets of monsters each turn. It's just a lot to keep up with. Which I wouldn't play with 5 players. I wouldn't recommend that. Everything else is, good with it. Components are okay. Board is okay. I've looked over some of the scenarios. There's a good variety of those different things. Evil clowns, invasions, body snatchers, witches, stuff like that. I think they should come out with more scenarios, more unique scenarios. But as I said before, this game takes a long time to set up. I think my 3 big things with this game are setup time, poorly written rules, and lack of just way too many monsters on the board. Too much to keep track of. I think you can tweak maybe 2 out of 3 of those things. You can't fix the rule book, but you can fix rules, house rules to fit your way. The monster thing, I don't think you can fix that. I mean, they're gonna have, if they were to ever support this game, they would have to come out with an expansion or something like that and add some kind of new mechanics or cards or something that lets you massive kill some monsters on the board. And you have to find the perfect balance, because if you don't have enough, these guys do move slow, but these are just some of the basic monsters. I mean, you got all these other monsters that can pop in, and you're having a bad time, and it's just you can do that, and setup time. You can streamline a few things, I guess. Basically, it's all the random doors, shrines, all the random crap you got to put on the board. Having said that, and seeming negative about it, I do think this game, Lobotomy, is a very good game. As I said before, I think it is a underrated, maybe overlooked hidden gem. If you don't mind setup, and you like figuring out things, I would recommend this game. I would recommend this game very, very much. Because of its unique theme. This game is very unique. Rain's coming down. I just find it a shame, and I hope I'm wrong about this. I think Titan Forge should really do something to keep this game alive. Let's just say that. Expansion, something. Don't let this game die. You got a good base core game with a few tweaks here. You know, if Fantasy Flight had this, I guarantee you it would have been tweaked better, but they would have expansions coming all the time, and this would be a big money maker for them. But since Titan Forge Games, I think, is a foreign, or at least to me, because I'm in America, company, I think they're a small company. Like I said, they don't even have this game on their website sometimes. It's just, that's ridiculous, man. Own up to it. Be proud of it. You have a good hidden gem of a game. I know it was on Kickstarter. It got funded, so something had to be right if it got funded. And you had plenty of stretch goals, so just, you know, there was that. So, you know, I guess it's my 2 cents. We're gonna play this game again. We're gonna have different heroes. Of course, different heroes, different scenarios. We're going to keep the one scenario thing going. Otherwise, this game can go on forever. And I hope you enjoyed it. Lobotomy is one of those rare games you don't see that often. So I was glad to bring it to you. But, you know, if I made any mistakes, forgive me. It was my second playthrough. And hopefully it gets better as it goes along. So hope you enjoyed it. Till then, see you next time. Have fun.